Hello, I'm Angela. I'm a descendant of Edmund Loader, and I just thought I'd show you what I've been doing while we've been in lockdown. We live in Invermay, just outside of Ballarat, and we've had a long cold winter, so I needed some projects to keep me busy while we couldn't go anywhere. So the soil here is pretty clayey, and when I've been putting plants in the garden, there's been lots of bits of slate that I've dug up, and I've kind of thought, well, what can I do with those? So I decided that I'd make some feature bollards for the garden. So this is the first one that I made, and this was an old tree guard, and then I've just filled it up with the slate, and then obviously put a big bit on the top. And as you can see, just got a few random pieces of old farm paraphernalia. I'm not really sure what they are, but obviously the pick end and stuff, just put that on top. If you have a look over this way, there's another couple that I've done with some features on it, and just got some old beaters and a grater and a few different odds and sods on the top there. So there's a couple of the things that I've made. I've probably got about 8 of these in the garden at the moment, varying sizes and shapes. So I'll take you over now to the shed, and I'll show you a couple of other things that I've made from a collection of old farm barbed wire. Okay, so this is pretty much what the barbed wire looked like to start off with, except it was in a bigger, much more tangled mess on the back of a truck under a tree out at the farm. So my husband and I kind of rescued several rounds of it, and as you can see, it's in a bit of a mess here, but I'll show you a couple of the things that I'm working on at the moment, and then I'll take you out and show you a couple of the big things that I've actually got out in the garden. So at the moment, I'm working on this, which I'm hoping, it's not quite round enough, and I'm hoping that's going to be maybe a Christmas wreath. I'm thinking I might perhaps put some baubles or something through that. And basically I start off with a single wire run of a shape. This one is a love heart that's going to hang somewhere. And then just wind the barbed wire around. The biggest problem is that because it's so old, it tends to break quite often when you're wrapping it around. Some of the ones that I've done, I've kind of just laid them on top of each other and then put really one wound around just to hold it together. As you can see, I've got this bigger love heart here, and they do get quite heavy as you go along. But that's a bigger one, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to hang this smaller one inside that, and then put a big hook on it and maybe hang it from a tree or something somewhere out in the garden. And the tools that I use for that are mainly just my hands with my gloves on. I have got some good wire cutters, very handy, and some of the pieces that I've made, like this dragonfly, to actually attach the wings or to hold the object together, I've just used some of these knitting clips and put them on with these little plier type of things. So there are a couple of things that I've done. I'll take you outside now and show you some of the things I've got out in the garden. So I hope you've enjoyed having a bit of a look at what I've been doing in lockdown. I'm really looking forward to what you've been up to too, and fingers crossed that next year we'll be able to see each other face to face. Take care.